Hey guys, Brad M73 here. Today Giant Software released the first actual gameplay trailer for Farming Simulator 17. I almost said 15 there. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, I'm going to pause the video really quick, but I wanted to kind of do an in-depth analysis. We're going to kind of look at it frame by frame, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and my perspective on the game. And so I'm going to pause really quick so you guys can see the trailer, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so what did you think? I am definitely a lot more on board with the game right now. I know early on some of my initial criticism was with regard to the graphics. The game looks really good. The soil textures look a lot better, though it's, until I can actually get the game in front of my hands, in front of my face, my eyeballs, it's still kind of hard to say definitively that the game is going to be super awesome. So anyway, without further ado, let's kind of I'm gonna be pausing and unpausing this video as I go. I've got it pulled up here on YouTube, and I'm gonna be pausing and unpausing. So here we go, really quick. Giant Software. Okay, we are panning down onto the new map. Gameplay number 1, from seeds to harvest. So let's go back just a little bit, couple frames. Now, do forgive the image quality here because it's YouTube and it's in motion, which means there's going to be a lot of artifacting and things like that. But here we can see a nice view of the new American map. Looks like there's possibly a building off in the distance there, but we've got a barn. And actually, it looks like the barn door is open. It actually looks like it opens into something. Looks like we've got a field, a silo, probably a drop-off point there, a shelter there for your vehicles, and probably another one right here. And then we get right into the nitty-gritty. We've got a cultivator here and what appears to be a new Challenger. Now, a lot of people keep saying they're Cat Challengers. No, they're not made. They're not owned by Cat anymore, but a lot of people still associate the Challenger name with Cat. It's actually Agco is the new owner, but there it is. So we've got the new Challenger here. Supposedly these are actual in-game graphics. I can see a little bit of the polygons on the lights there. Yeah, it's the Challenger MT975E with the Vaderstadt Carrier XL 825 Cultivator. That's what we just saw there. Also got the dual wheels here. I'm going to probably guess that this, because it's an articulated tractor, is probably going to come with the dual wheels, but who knows? Maybe we can even put bigger wheels or smaller wheels on it. So yeah, more stuff. We've got some snow-covered mountains up there. That'll be so cool if I can like climb to the top and like jump off and kill myself. No, I'm just kidding. Here we've got another shot of the garage. I think when we started the video, the camera was probably in the upper right of this frame. So again, we've got our shelter here. We can see some videos. I'm sorry, some vehicles, not videos. But it does actually look like the barn door is open here, and hopefully we can actually pull vehicles or store vehicles in the barn. That will be huge. That will be super awesome if we can actually do that. And we also get our first look of the female avatar in motion. Here's another shot. Yeah, there we can actually see. Let's see if I can go back ever so slightly. Let's see right about there. It does look like we can see into the garage. Now, whether or not this is like a drop-off point for straw, you know how in previous farming sim games there was actually like a drop-off point for straw where you could actually sell it. I can see like piles of straw in there. I'm thinking that maybe that's what that is, but I'm still keeping my fingers crossed and holding out hope that we can actually store vehicles in there. I think that'll be really awesome. So we've got another view of the Challenger and the cultivator there. A little trailer. No, it's just like a little house or something out in the background there. Here we actually get our first look at the UI. We've got 831 euros. Being that this is an American map, I don't understand why we have euros. However, it might be an option as to whether or not you want to use dollars or euros. I'll just point that out right now. It is kind of weird, since this is supposed to be an American map, that they would have the euro symbol. But whatever. We've got the time, we got your weather, what your speed acceleration is. This is fairly similar to the current UI that we have, just a little bit different, and you can tell it's tweaked a little bit. We also have the speed down here. We have the time on the... I would assume that this is probably like the time on the vehicle. We've got the gas in liters. That should be in gallons if it's an American map. And then we have, our speed, cruise control, and the little tractor symbol down there, allowing us to select our different front and back attachments. So we have, we're just kind of panning around the cockpit. We can see there's a Fendt out there to the side. Here we just have another view of the farm in the same area. There's even another view of the farm. Maybe that's the farmhouse down there. It's kind of hard to tell. We've got a combine, which is a Massey Ferguson. I haven't seen anything from Case, so I'm not sure if we're going to have Case combines in this or not. So here we're folding it down, and you can kind of tell that the field texture might be a little bit different compared to what we've had before. I'm still kind of going to reserve judgment on that until actually we finally get it. But here we've got the cultivator at work. Now this actually does look quite a bit different. My only thing is, why are we seeing tire tracks? Oh wait, I know why we're seeing tire tracks, because there's tires, I think, on the back of this cultivator. Yeah, one there, one there. I was kind of, in some of the previous screenshots that I've seen, I thought that we were seeing tire tracks from the actual tractor, which wouldn't make sense if there was a cultivator in front of it. So maybe these two tracks are actually from the rear part of the Cultivator. So here we're inside the cabin, just looking around. Here is another view. There we can see from the same perspective as we started out at, just a little bit lower and further back. We can see the Cultivator doing its thing. We're now done with the Cultivator. We're moving on. Oh. Go back. There we can kind of see maybe like our main farmyard. We can see like a truck back there. We've got a Fent with a tipper, a big tipper here, more like a semi-trailer. We're going to back up, connect up. Now, this is something that I'm really glad to see. We've got the Amazon Condor. This time it's the 15001 or 15001. Before, I believe we had just the 15,000. Definitely looks awesome. Look at all those moving parts. Look at that just huge seeder. We are going to be able to seed fields much more quickly than we currently can without using mods. So I'm really happy for that. So now, whoops, we've got our field. Looks like it's growing here with something. And still we've got, shots panning back. Oh, now we've got to spray it with this New Holland SP 400F self-propelled sprayer. My cousin actually has one of these, though his is a John Deere, and it's obviously it's not a New Holland. Looks a little bit different, but same kind of vehicle and a sprayer there, so pretty cool. This is showing, just spraying the crops. You're going to actually have to do this as the crops grow, I guess. Possibly every once in a while. Here we've got the crops growing, and this is the sunflowers. Yay! And now we've got our Massey Ferguson Activa S7347 with Cabello Helianthus 7500 header. Capello Helianthus. Is that like a scientific name for sunflowers? It might be. I don't know. Or maybe not. Here we have another shot of the barn, and actually if I just move back a little bit and look through the barn, you can actually see it's open all the way through. So that's pretty cool confirmation there. We've got the new Fent. What is it? The Fent 939 Varia with the Metaltech PP20 auger wagon there in the back. And we've got the Massey Ferguson. Looks like he's going to come out. Now here we've got Henry out here. Now, I'm going to assume that this is multiplayer because that actually looks how we've seen multiplayer characters represented in the past. Though part of me hopes and keeps my fingers crossed that maybe that's just a helper. So like if the helper's waiting on you and he's not doing anything, he just kind of stands out behind his tractor. But I think this is actually probably just multiplayer. So there the combine is unfolding. I'm going to pause it there. And away we go with harvesting. There's Henry again, I'm guessing. Yep, there you can see Henry harvesting the sunflowers. Now, I will say that I am a bit disappointed with one thing, and it's the way the seeds offload into the trailers. It's pretty much the same as Farming Sim 15, and you'll see what I mean in just about a second. It just kind of was like a cone that just sprays. It doesn't really look very realistic, and I was really keeping my fingers crossed that they were going to improve that. Another weird thing is we look at this truck. It actually looks all white, and actually the windows look way too white. I am going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that this is probably an asset that's not completely finished yet. They definitely don't have the windows quite right. They need to be a lot more see-through. Just some general criticism, nothing hopefully constructive. Hopefully that'll be kind of changed in the near future. Same Krampa trailer that we're kind of used to, the big gigantic trailer. I don't know if they sell those in the United States or not. Yeah, now they're not naming the truck here. It's just the Krampa SB 3060 tipper. Or did they name the truck? I don't think that they did. You look here. Nope, they're backing the truck up. There's no name. It's probably like a lizard truck, that's their go-to name. for things in the past. Now here was like the most disappointing part, and I'll point out there's all these gauges. Now I will admit the detail on YouTube is not very good. You can clearly see that in the image. However, I don't see any indicators whatsoever on any of these dials. Again, this is still early. They're probably, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that hopefully they will flesh out the interior of the truck a lot more than it is right now, especially with respect to the gauges. Everything else looks pretty good, but I'm really kind of worried about the gauges. So here, we've got the truck going down the hill. We've got trees everywhere that we'll be able to harvest. And he's going to turn on down to the 4-lane road. Ooh, paused it exactly where I wanted it to be. So it looks like we've got a little town out here. There's a bridge, so there's a river. Looks like there's a river going up this way, and he's crossing a bridge here as well. We've got a 4-lane road. Who knows where it goes? Probably goes to the selling point. So now we pan up, and that is the end of the trailer. So again, guys, it's going to be available October 25th on PC and consoles. The two versions, from what I know, are supposedly virtually identical. So I don't really see the console versions as being kind of like a slightly limited version of the PC version. I think that all the news that I'm reading is the console versions are supposed to be exactly like the PC version, and if that changes in the future, and if I hear something different, I will definitely update you guys. But I just kind of wanted to go through the gameplay trailer and let you guys know what I thought of it. And I think it's just going to be, I'm a lot more comfortable with where I think this game is coming from. Now, a few things that I will actually point out that I am a little bit worried about. Number one, the lighting looks about the same as what we're used to in Farming Sim 15. There's nothing here that really gives me any indication that the lighting is actually going to line up with the sun, and I will crush this game if they don't get the lighting right. I will absolutely crush it. Crush it. But, just for the lighting. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be able to play it, or that I'm not going to play it. It just means that I'm going to be ridiculously disappointed. One thing, I just want to go back to the beginning of this trailer, and when the camera pans down, you're actually going to see like a circular area, right? You can see it right there. Up, you can just barely see the line. Lower left, see it? Kind of panning through the shadows. So, which means that we are still going to have like that circular area. Hopefully they'll bump it out further, but we're still going to have that circular area where the shadows cut off. I'm really disappointed by that. And I was hoping that somehow they would be able to get that fixed. Whoa, what was that? I just noticed something I've never noticed before. Right here. What are these? It looks like there's something floating through the... I don't think it's anything on the window. I think it's part of the textures. I don't know. Again, the game is early. Oh, we got AI traffic there. It's still early. A lot of these things could be fixed. And I will hopefully... Well, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until the game is out, and then I can properly review it. Again, I'm not really seeing anything here that's blowing my mind, but... the field graphics look really nice. The camera angles are really well done for photographing this game, though I don't really see anything that you couldn't do in Farming Simulator 15. Tons of new vehicles. Everybody's going to be, excited to be jumping into all the new equipment and to be playing on a new map. So, tons of reasons to still be excited, but, I'm just giving, like... my pros, my cons. Actually, there you can see the tire tracks again. Nothing really appears to be that much different from Farming Sim 15 as far as that goes. And there he goes, off harvesting again. But, I tell you, after seeing this trailer and after seeing a lot of the screenshots that we've seen the last week, I'm definitely a lot more optimistic about it. I know I've been critical of things, and that's just part of being a reviewer. So, if you like my critical reviews and you want to see more, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I do farming vids and a bunch of other vids all the time, and I will keep you guys up to date as far as Farming Simulator news. So anyway, those are just some of my thoughts on this new Farming Simulator 17 video. Hopefully we'll see more come out of Gamescom here in a few weeks. I'm sure that we will. And I look forward, just as you do, to seeing more. Well, that's it for now. I am BradM73. Like, share, comment, and again, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.